Kembo Kembo na Tata nZambi ya Mazulu, Bayete and Kosi. I want to say to all of you, welcome to another message. It's going to be a strong one, and I anticipated this for so long. I actually felt that this was going to be something that would eventually start to happen. Now that we can put the scriptures in the proper context, we now understand that the scriptures were really intended for the Bana Betu, the Bena Kongo, and not the heathen Gentiles or those who consider to be the so-called adopted children. And there was a scripture that puzzled me until certain events have started to unfold. And I'm glad that the nZambi is patient and fumu to help me through this time. That Kusua Kongo is very patient as well to help us to come to the knowledge of the things we need to know, especially when we start to do our fasting and our prayers. And it was funny because during this time is when things started to come on to revelation of things that I was concerned about. And I understood now why, there's many enemies of Tata nZambi who are pretending to be of him and are not, but are also doing what was expected. Okay. And this is one of the reasons why I gave several warnings about paying attention to who you follow, who you listen to, who you think you might know is teaching the truth and who isn't, and always to question the spirit to see if they come from the Most High. I've said this many times. You must question the spirit. The biggest assumption that I'm finding out about those in the land, and I'll play a song here in a minute. I'm gonna get into this, but there's a big assumption that's being made by Tata nZambi. I said, never assume anything with the Most High. Never assume. And I'm learning what happens when people start to assume things is people can be misled. Seriously, you can be misled because with Tata nZambi, you don't lean on your own understanding ever. You don't ever lean on your understanding, and he can do things that many people will be shocked. And I'm going to give an example of that today. So before I begin, I'm going to say Assalamu alaikum Kongo for those who have been returned to Tata nZambi and the Malekis see them as them. Remember I said there were two kinds of fallen angels that the world is not aware of. There were the fallen angels of the first, the fall of the Shatani, and then there were those who fell from the kingdom. And unfortunately, we failed several times. It wasn't like, and like I said, the movie Ghost Rider is about the corruption of the Bantu people, the Bena Kongos, the Bena nZambis, who are the angels who were corrupted because we are the angels in the flesh, who were chosen by Tata nZambi, but we turned our backs on Tata nZambi, and then we're turned over to the heathens who were then corrupted us, who themselves didn't realize they were already corrupted by the false Messiah. So now we're going to put things into perspective as to why the world can't see, and why even now as the diaspora returns, that they don't see the deceptions that are also waiting for them. So Sambololo, and I'm going to play the song and then we'll get into the message. Tuna Tuna Nunga Kwase by Jadil B. That's one of the songs. If you've gone to his channel that he put out in August of 15, 2017, Jadil Jadilb. I don't have the rights to this song. I don't have any copyrights. I don't do anything with that. I don't redistribute. I'm giving honor to this brother. I mean, I know people are still locked up in certain beliefs, but the song still praises the Most High Tata nZambi and Pongo. And I'm glad that many people are starting to understand things. You know, if there's one thing, first I want to say, all Grambo and going to Tata nZambi and Pongo Tulendo a Kongo Yave. I want to honor Kusua Kongo Yisu Klistu. I want to honor the Bana Betu, all the righteous elders of nZolele, all the righteous elders in the Pemba Kalunga. I want to honor all the descendants of the Rana Zaka Yakubi that are righteous, and all those who come from Adama who down the line who are righteous. To the Maleki Makongo in the Pemba Kalunga, Assalamu Maleki Kongo, Ingita. I will say the most this is I know this is how I know Shatani is at work, you know, because the one thing that I'm learning from Tata nZambi is to never assume with him that he can't surprise you with something you never expect. You know, one of the things I'm learning, even in my time when I spent in Africa and in my time back, is, you know, the unity problem exists between us because of assumptions that the Most High continues to make. I mean, the assumptions we continue to make of the Most High. You know, I've always said that the Abantu Bendlela can be your teacher, that Yusu Malongi, Kusua Kongo can be your teacher. The Most High can teach anybody whatever he chooses to teach them, no matter where they are or who they are. You know, a great example, and I'm bringing this up because many people have forgotten the lesson of Ingipity when Yosefu was sold into Ingipity by his brothers who were jealous, and he was made and he was tested by Potiphar's wife and was imprisoned for something he didn't do, and he was then lifted up, and they felt that he couldn't make it as a governor or regent of the land because he didn't know certain things, and the Maleki came and taught him. And the next thing you know, he was very well versed in all these things. And it's because this happened is because when you doubt Tata nZambi, when you doubt Yahweh Kongo, when you doubt the Most High, and this is something that even the Gentiles understood over us and why Kusua Kongo was upset, is that, and this is why now we got turned over to them because, you know, our ignorance continues to be our problem, lack of knowledge, Hosea 4:6. And the assumption we always make with Tata nZambi is that he can't give you the knowledge that you're lacking, no matter where you are. Okay. And, you know, for people to assume things about a person that comes from a place that, first of all, they don't even have any knowledge of, and then also to assume that a person who hasn't come from a place that they've never been, but has been now, is, you know, the ignorance that is showing that you are listening to false spirits and that something is indeed wrong with your intellect because the Most High can do whatever. And I'm going to prove it in scripture today that just because And I'm gonna show you where each time that the unexpected happened, it came out of the land of Egypt, Egypt. You know, when he brought the people out of the land of Egypt the first time, he picked a person who was hidden in the house of the Pharaoh, who was not allowed to be destroyed, be thrown to the crocodiles, and grew up in the Pharaoh's house, and then sent him into the wilderness to teach him who he was, and then bring him back to deliver the people from the land. He also did the same thing with Kusua Kongo Yisu Klistu, the Yesiah. His birth was not the way the Christian church has been portraying it, but he was born in a cave, as they mocked in the Lion King. His life was under threat. Whose life was under threat too, mostly. So he sent him into where? In Egypt. He said, and then in Hosea, as we're going to read, and I'm going to share our screen here. And this is why I'm going to share my screen, because I know now that Second Thessalonians, and I'm going to put this in perspective because, and I'm going to talk about the apocalypse of Eliah, because Eliah sent this warning out already. Because already, and this is why Kusua Kongo made his warning about false prophets. Because see, and when we were in Christianity, or those who grew up in the Christian church, the assumption was this was a warning for Christians, when this was not the case. This was a warning for the 12 tribes. Now that we know who the 12 tribes really are, many people have not hearkened to this, to the Hamashiach's warning. And now we have the revelation of what I have now been informed of Second Thessalonians chapter 2. Because it goes back to what I spoke about the tares in the wheat. I said they would look like the tares would look like the wheat. And who are the wheat referring to? The wheat are referring to the Bana Betu, the Bena Kongo, the Bena nZambi, not to the European anything, or to the Asians or anybody else. It's to the 12 tribes. This is who he was talking to. And the 12 tribes, of course, we know the Bena Kongo, the Bena nZambis. This was a message that was given to the Muntu, not the man, because we know now that because of the false interpretations to deceive the 12 tribes, this was the whole purpose. So when you put the scriptures in their proper context to go back to the Muntu, to Bena nZambi, all of the scriptures are warnings to the Bena Kongo, to the Bena nZambi. And see, in order for Shatani, he deceived us with the white Jesus because we didn't heed Paul's warning. But as I told people, I said, be careful getting all hung up on a black Messiah, because Nimrod and Tammuz were black. The other thing was, be careful about people talking about who's Hamite, who Esau being white, black, whatever, because the bottom line is he was among all the tribes when he scattered himself. And also we have been scattered among the heathens, so we have received Hamite blood. We have received other Shemites that were not of Abanu, Saka, Yakubi, of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. We have received other heathen mixtures because of the diaspora being scattered, even in among the continent. Okay? Why I'm saying this is because anybody can come looking like us and acting like us and not be us. Like what Yakubi Yisu, what on Kusua Kongo Yisu said, the tares among the wheat. There are those who will act like, and this is not a proper context. It's not about people acting like Christians and behaving like Christians, but are false Christians. No, he was talking about the 12 tribes. He said, these are people who are going to act like the 12 tribes, be like the 12 tribes, talk like the 12 tribes, know the truth about the 12 tribes, but deceive you. And now that we know that Kusua Kongo Yisu spoke nZolele Kongo, and this was the native language of the 12 tribes, the original Hebrew, okay, you're now seeing that this is something that has become a trend since the Kingdom of Kongo fell, that we keep falling for those who say they are Yaoundé who are not, Bayuda, and we also keep falling for those who say they are Messiah and they are not. This is continually consistency, and this is why we're finding ourselves being led astray by false shepherds. Okay, I'm going to read Elia, the Apocalypse of Elia, where he says, now this is not wise men. He's talking to the Muntu. He said, this is to the Bantu. O wise Bantu of the land concerning the deceivers who will multiply in the last times, so that they will set down for themselves doctrines which do not belong to Tata nZambi, setting aside the law of Tata nZambi, those who have made their belly their infumu, saying, the fast does not exist, nor did Tata nZambi create it, making themselves strangers to the covenant of Tata nZambi and robbing themselves of the glorious premises. Now, these are not ever correctly established in them firm faith. Therefore, don't let these people lead you astray. Okay? And remember that from the time when he created the heavens, the Zulu, the Mfumu, Tata nZambi created the fast for a benefit to the Muntu, to the this is why the fast is for those who come from the Most High in spirit and in truth, and it's not for those who are cut off. This is a deception that has been taught to the heathens, to the Gentiles. You must be pure and whole of heart to fast and know what spirit you're fasting in. And like the Most High keeps telling me, he said, don't just assume that somebody claims to be from us is pure and their fast is pure, because Shatani always comes first, as we know. And you must remember who woke you up and who is bringing you back to the land. This is another thing, okay? On account of the passions and desires which fight against you, so that the evil will not inflame you. But it is a pure fast that which I have created, says Tata nZambi, the one whose fast continually will not sin, although jealousy and strife are within him. So let's talk about this. Even when we fast, even when we pray, we still have jealousy and strife within us. So this can still wield itself when we find ourselves not fasting. And this is part of the issue that continues to plague the Bena Kongo, the Bena nZambis, the Bana Betu, the Negroes. When you see how Black people act in America, and you see how Black people act in Brazil and Asia and Africa, what is the problem we always are looking at? Jealousy and strife, to where we will go and do bad things to each other and not think nothing of it. And this is starting to become the issue as those of us start to come to the awakening of ourselves and our identity. The enemy was, I told people, I said, just because you found Tata nZambi, just because you found Sonini Nanini, Yahweh Kongo, just because you found him does not mean that the road back to him was not going to be blocked. Okay? That there wasn't going to be attempts for those who do not wish to see, because their mandate has always been, come let us cut them off from being a nation. So even though you return back to the land, even though you learn so many different knowledges you didn't know, even though you hear so many different things that you didn't see, that doesn't mean the people or persons who are teaching it have pure intentions. Because not everybody's heart is circumcised. This is the problem. You have assumed their heart is circumcised, and it is not. You assume that they are leading you into the proper way, and they are not. Because not everybody has gotten away from their jealousy and their strife. And so what happens is people can become jealous when Tata nZambi uses whomever he chooses, even if they come from the diaspora or whatever he chooses to do. Okay? And this is the issue that we're running into as what is causing disunity, because we're not putting aside jealousy and strife, because we have our own agendas. I have no agenda. I am here as a watchman, as the Most High has called me to be. You know, people have said, you're a false prophet. When did I ever say I was a Nabi or a prophet? That never came out of my mouth. I said my role in this is to do what Yusu Malongi, my teacher, said. Okay? Return myself to the Most High and learn the ways of the Muntu, the Bana Betu. Okay? And discern that which is right from wrong. And know that my intentions are to be like what Kusua Kongo wants us to do what he did and more. And soon, as Tata nZambi will begin to demonstrate, this power will manifest in ways people won't even know. Some people have already begun to manifest this power. Other people have been taught to, the Most High releases them in their due time. They have a time to be released. So he's not going to release things until it's their due time. And so the patience, it has to be there. And that's why he says, if you don't wait on me, you will then fall into the traps that Shatani has placed for many of us. Because that's what the heathens have fallen into. They don't know they're worshiping a false god. They think they have power and they do not. And that's why the societies that they live in stay in constant uproar and upheaval, because they don't know where they live. And that's why secret society people continue to deceive them. And that's why they don't even know how to discern a righteous angel from an unrighteous angel, because they masquerade as the nice guys, very nice guys. And people don't understand it. Esau in his deception is not going to come at you meanie all the time. No. Nimrod in his deception is not going to come at you meanie all the time. No. Shatani in his deception is not going to come at you meanie all the time. No. He is going to act like the nicest guy you've ever met to lure you into the traps. And we see this all the time with the innocent, even in this world of his own creations. Okay? That people don't know he has children, many. But he also has Bana Betu that have coveted false oaths with him, that are assuming to be the good guys and they are not. That's why the Most High has called upon those to expose many of these deceptions, because he said, you will always go to where the door is. Christianity has believed in the lukewarm version of what they thought. When I said you're lukewarm, you automatically default to Satan. The church is lukewarm. The church of Laodicea is lukewarm and never stopped being so. So you are spewed out. Okay? This is the problem. We ran from that. This is how we end up in the Kingdom of Kongo. We ran from that and got to the pure teachings in the Kingdom of Kongo when he set us up there. But what did we do? We got trapped into Islam. Then Christianity came. And Judaism got us too. The three frogs. Because we were never meant to be in a religion. We were a belief, Abantu Bendlela, which they know what that means, people of the way. That's why in our language, Away nZambi. Okay? What Away nZambi meant is that person had to be in the spirit of Kongo, Tata nZambi and Pungutulendo, to be with the Most High. That was a way of checking. Hey, are you with the Most High? Are you in his way or are you not? Okay? This is the issue. You know, many people have talked about Simon Kimbangu, Simon Toko. I will tell you this. In my revelations that I have received, I don't know about other people. I'm just talking for myself. I know that there are people who are teaching different versions of both of those prophets. And I know that there are people who are misinterpreting their testimonies. This is a fact. Because one of the things that I remember reading from both of them is they never put themselves above Kusua Kongo. Not one time. Not one time did they do that. And they never called themselves the king above them, him. No. And see, the biggest misguided conception about our people is if you go to Samuele, he said the only king of the Bantu people was supposed to be who? Tata nZambi, Kongo, Yahweh Kongo. He was supposed to be the king of the Bantu people. But he said, we cried out, and he gave us King Ntino Sola. But he also gave a warning. He said that every king that you have will lead you into a what? Problem. And that has continually been the case, even down to King Nzinga. Because the biggest deception you've been taught with Christianity, the line of kings did not stop after Herod and the Bantu people. The true kings, the king, the lineage of David did not stop because Kusua Kongo came. We still had the kings anointed over the 12 tribes. This is the deception. Okay? And King Nzinga came through that lineage. Well, what did he do? He turned us over to the Portuguese. This is what Tata nZambi said. Any king that you appoint will cause problems for you. Because the king of the Congo, the Bena Kongo, the Bena nZambis, the Bena nZolele is Tata nZambi himself. He's the Intinu Abantu, and then he sent his Bena, one of his Bena, because the Malekis are Benas too. The angels are also sons of the Most High. We are also sons of Tata nZambi. He sent the Hamasia after the prophets were killed to try to tell us this, that we did live with a circumcised heart, to do the same, and then did it with power. But many of us, we accepted him, and then who rejected him. And he even said, if you don't do better than the scribes, Pharisees, or the scribes and the Pharisees and the hypocrites, you will not see the kingdom. You won't see it. Okay? But what is Elias saying here? He's saying, but it is a pure fast which I have created, said the nZambi. The one who fasts continually will not sin. Although jealousy and strife are within him, let the pure one fast. But whenever the one who fasts is not pure, he has angered Tata nZambi and also the Malekis. What makes you pure? Your heart. Your heart. The pure in heart, those who are Bena Kongo, Bena nZambis, Bana Betu, this is not for the Gentiles. This is the deception. That's why when they fast, they still stuck in the deception that they're in. This fast was for Bantu people. But our heart, when we did it, had to be pure. Where the intent is, I have no more bitterness or strife or hatred for my brothers. That's why Isaiah said, you must love your enemy, okay? But he wasn't talking about the other nations. This is the deception. He was talking about the Kintwari, the Makanda of the Tanzania, the family of the Bantu people. He said, don't, that's why he then went and said, don't even the Gentiles love their friend, their family, which we see that among when we've been scattered? Yes. This is why you see the animosity among their own. And while they now try to front and pretend like how they do to masquerade, like they know the truth and treat one another. They are doing that because they learned that from us. But we did not, that's why we don't treat ourselves the right way. And we assume things about people we don't even know. That's why I say, how can you, that's why Kusua said, how can you who have your own problems start to judge someone when you have about his problems when you don't even recognize your own. And we are doing this now, even this in awakening from those who claim to be more knowledgeable than we are. And yet those who have less knowledge can still see something is wrong with this picture just based upon what Tata nZambi is revealing in the scriptures, where he shows us how we keep messing up as a people. These are our scrolls already that were taught back to us and backwards, when they have all the other scrolls too, and there's other knowledge out there that even these people who claim to think they know, they don't have it. They don't. There's knowledge out there that nZambi has, he has not revealed. People don't get this, okay? But whenever the one who fasts is not pure, he has anger, and he has grieved his soul, gathering up wrath for himself for the day of wrath. And I'm telling you, you have people in Angola and Congo and Tanzania and all the other parts of Africa who know this truth, that they themselves are gathering up wrath because they were not pure in their fast. You have people in the diaspora the same way. This is why he said your heart, even when Toko did it, the heart was the key to your pure fast. The heart was the key to your repentance. But he says, a pure fast is what I created with a pure heart and pure hands. It releases sin. And I have experienced this even among myself. It heals diseases. It casts out demons. Effective up to the throne of Tata nZambi for an ointment and for release from the zono by means of a pure prayer. This is why Untino Davidi had to open his heart and say, oh, Father, please, when he sinned. And all the others too. This is why he told those who were not pure, you are of your father the devil, and the works of your father you will do. For he was a liar from the beginning. And we see this now manifesting in this awakening from many people. I am going to tell you, because I was given the warning, be careful who tells you that they are Hamasia. Be very careful for those who are naming themselves king of something and queen. Yes, we are returning to our status, but your crown cannot be awarded until the true king sits in his seat on Mount Sioni. Who is that? Tata nZambi. Until Tata nZambi is with his people on Mount Sioni, and he has broken the firmament, and he has come down, and Kusua Kongo comes with him, and he brings the cleansing of the Levites, and he brings the shaking to the heathen that will see him, even those who pierced him. And the world starts to be consumed with fire for their indignations. Be very careful whom you choose to believe. Because Tata nZambi Yamazulu Mpungu Talendo is the king of nZolele. He told this to his people when they called for a king. He called them and said, I am your king, but if this is what you want, that's why he said, when the man of sin reveals himself, this was not for the Christians. This is the biggest deception. They are already in the deception of the man of sin because they are worshiping the version that Rome gave them, and it is a lie. The heathens are already deceived. Bana Betu have fallen in with them. Okay? They don't want to believe it. That's their choice. The Most High woke us up for a reason. And he made the sheep hear the voice of the good shepherd for a reason. Because I'm telling you, I warned people in my video last year, and I knew this was coming. And I said a strong delusion, and the strong delusion is not for the heathens. This was always been the deception. The strong delusion was for the Bantus, for the Muntu that Paul is really talking about. Okay? But who among you, if he is honored in his craft, we know where the word craft come from, we ain't gonna go there, will go forth to the field without a tool in his hand. You must be what? Prepared to do the work with whatever tool the Most High gives you. Or who will go forth to battle to fight without a breastplate on? If he is found, he will not, if he is found, will he not be killed because he despised the service of the king? So who is supposed to give you your tool and your armor and your breastplate to prepare for the war against Shatani and those? I'm not going to answer that. You need to answer that for yourself, because I'm telling you, we have people who have become deceived, even elders, even those who say they are holy people. I'm telling you, don't do it. I'm a watchman. My blood is not going to be on your hands. I've given out the warning. Y'all want to say I'm a false prophet? You want to say I'm not recognizing? Whatever. I know the Mwanda Velila, my Maleki that watches over me, said, this is not, you need to remember who called you into your awakening. You need to remember who showed you who you are. I said, okay. Likewise, no one is able to enter the holy place if he is double-minded. I learned this lesson. Others are going to start to learn this lesson real soon. Meaning, your mind must always be focused on meditating on the word of Tata nZambi, which is who? Ooh, y'all don't figure out who the word really is. They call him Yisu Klistu. That was not his name. We didn't call him that. This is the Greek and the Roman interpretation of mixing their version of Christianos with the Bakristu or the Abantu Bendlela way that caused these assemblies to go astray and learn the ways of the heathen and also believe those who say they were and are not. This is what happened. Excuse me. And of course, I warned people. I told you, Simone the sorcerer was a black dude. Don't think that he can't. I'm telling you, the wheat and the tare will look. The wheat and the tares will look alike. They will both be Muntu. This has been the lie of the whole world about the wheat and the tares. It got nothing to do with the Gentiles. The wheat and the tares is about the 12 tribes, the Bena nZambis, that there will be wheat and tares together, and the harvest will come, and the tares are going to be burned. And Shatani has set a trap for those that don't understand what I'm talking about. You don't even know. The one who is double-minded in his prayer is darkness to himself. Even the Maleki Kongo do not trust him. I have to learn this. I've learned this the hard way. You must be pure and focused on the Most High, or you're not even trusted by the Maleki Kongo. The angels don't trust you. Therefore, a single-minded in Tata nZambi in all times, so that you might know every moment. This is why I have learned to really repent of sins quickly, to get my mind right and refocused. Because what you want to make sure is the Maleki Kongo stay on your side and will show you the dangers that are coming. That you want the ancestors to remain on your side, so they will expose to you those who are really tares and they're claiming to be wheat. You want the Maleki Kongo to be on your side, so you will be able to know when something is said, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right. No, you need to run away because the good shepherd already told you, you will hear his voice. This is why the Most High brought us out of these lies already that the world has been put under. You don't want to go back under the spell again. I'm telling you, you might want to be careful because I said to you, if you hear the truth, you don't want to be the seed that it gets choked out of you. You don't want to be the seed that just ignored it. You don't want to be the seed, okay, that you hear it for a while and then you run back. You want to be the seed that is on the good soil and you blossom and become the wheat. There are people giving you information that is false. And the Most High, he said, I will send a strong delusion upon those who believe the lies. Because the King of Kongo is Tata nZambi and Pungu Tulendo. And he sent his Intinu, who is worthy of praise, that is like him, who said, I am the good shepherd, that I am the intercession between you and my Father. I'm telling you, he will be the one that was said he will make the nations bow before your feet. He said he will be the one that will force those who say and are not to worship at your feet. He will be the one that the nZambi even said, the king will come and purge the Levites and brass and be like a refining fire. Okay, I'm just pouring it out there. I'm going to go to this. This is coming. And now I know where, and now I know why. Because the holy places that Eliah is talking about in this scripture are in Africa. Because there's war coming to Africa. There's war coming to the world. There's going to be clashes. There's going to be civil unrest everywhere. Because Tata nZambi is purging the wheat, the tares. He's also judging the heathen. Now pay close attention to what Eliah said. Because this, I'm telling you, man. In the 4th year of that king, the son of lawlessness will appear saying, I am Kusua, I am Messiah, although he is not. Don't believe him. When Kusua Kongo comes, he will come in the manner of a convoy of doves and the crown of doves surrounding him. He will walk upon the heaven vaults with the sign of the cross leading him. Which cross? Not the pagan one. The whole world will behold him like the sun with signs from the east horizon to the western. This is how he will come with the Maleki surrounding him. The Maleki who? Kongo. Not those white looking, oh, you're going to see. But the son of the lawless one will begin to stand again in the holy places. The holy places, where are they? They're not in Northeast Africa that you want to call Palestine. It's not in your churches or anywhere. These holy places are in Embo, Ethiopia. Okay? He will say to the sun, fall, and it will fall. He will say, shine, and it will do it. He will say, darken, and it will do it. He will say to the moon, become bloody, and it will do it. He will go forth from them from the sky. He will walk upon the sea and the rivers as upon dry land. He will cause the lame to walk. He will cause the deaf to hear. He will cause the dumb to speak. He will cause the blind to see. The lepers will be cleansed. The ill will be healed. The demons will be cast out. Why will the demons be cast out when Kusua Kongo says Satan can't cast out Satan? Because the masquerade must be fulfilled. They will obey the lawless one because he is the king of them. And you won't know the difference. Telling you. He will multiply his signs and wonders in the presence of everyone, especially Bena Kongo, Bana Betu, Bena nZambi. Because who is the one that Shatani wants to deceive and continues to deceive is the black man, the Negroes who come from Abantu and Yakubi, because we are the ones that can take him out. And he will do works that what Klistu did, Kusua Kongo did, except for raising the dead alone. And those you will know that he is the son of the lawless one because he is unable to give life. People, I have told you that there is a way for them to already deceive you with that. And you will know. You better be careful. He is skinny-legged, young lad having a full gray of hair, full tuft of hair. At the hair of his bald, his eyebrows, okay? He's looking into the spirit of this person, okay? I'm going to take you to 2 Thessalonians. This is Paul speaking, the Muntu, not the Jewish nothing, not no descendant of Esau, Edom. He is a Muntu, a Bantu, and he's giving the warning to the Bena Kongos, the Bena nZambi. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Mfumu, Yisu Klistu, Kusua Kongo, Yahweh Kongo, Bena Yahweh Kongo, okay, in his father's name, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled neither by spirit nor by word, nor by the letter asked from us, that the day of Kusua Kongo is at hand. And it's really the day of Tata nZambi because they're the same. Let no muntu. That's what he said, muntu. He didn't say man. He said muntu deceive you by any means. For the day shall not come except the coming and falling away first, and the muntu of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Because we understood the word muntu. This is the heathen Gentiles have already been deceived by this person. Okay. Sorry, my camera's freezing up. I figure I know why, because they don't want me to talk about this. They know that I know what's going on. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called Tata nZambi. You know, I heard something that made no sense whatsoever about the elder Simon Toko as in his relationship to Kimbangu. I'm telling you, there's two Simon Toko's versions being taught, and there's there's a different Padi, Simon Padi, remember him? And there's a different Kimbangu. I'm telling you. Just like how they have taught us another Jesus, Paul has said, if anyone comes teaching you a different Messiah than we taught, you will go with them. I have said this to people. When you hear and you see things and you learn things and you know things, check the spirit. Is this what this person? I even said, I read the book to you that Toko said, Yisu Kusua would build his city. Be careful. Who opposes and exalted him, well, that call him Fumu, or that his worship, so that his Fumu sits in the temple of Tata nZambi, showing himself that he is Tata nZambi. People, I have said to you many times, this is the nZolele. If you take in another spirit, you have the false Messiah spirit in you. And you are being, the same thing is happening again. There are people who have been taken away from the false Messiah and are being brought back to the false Messiah under disguise. I'll get to that in a minute. Remember not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and know you what holdeth that he might be revealing his time. For the mystery of iniquity is already at work. Only he who now letteth will let until he is taken out of the way. And then shall the wicked one be revealed, whom Tata nZambi shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. People, this is already started. I'm telling you right now, this person has already come on the scene. Watch. Because we misunderstood that this is Bantu scrolls. We misunderstood that this is Bantu teachings. And we misunderstood that they have modified some of the things that Paula actually said about this person because it was meant to deceive the Muntu. Okay. We were deceived when the Kingdom of Kongo fell, and Kusua Kongo said we would be deceived coming back if possible. Because we didn't know they taught everything backwards. And even so now, sorcery, like I said, go to the Malachi chapter 3, that when the Messiah comes, there can be no more sorcery. It'll be exposed. I'm telling you the truth. Shatani knows this, and that will be the reason why he will come hard after the person who is going to be a part of this when the true gospel comes out, until they take him out of the picture. Even him whose coming is after the work of Mishan through all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness, unrighteousness, that them that perish because they receive not the love of the truth, Kongo, that they might be saved. I'm telling you, there's only one door to Tata nZambi. Only one. Now the Christians are calling it Jesus Christ. They don't even know that that is actually the false Messiah's name. He was never called that. This was given to him by the Greeks and the Romans because they worship a God like that. And they mixed it with ours. So this is already the deception. People don't even know that's what happened. He was a Muntu. He had a Bantu name. He had a Bena Kongo name. And that's why he says, for this cause, not God, because God is not who people think he is, but Tata nZambi, Yahweh Kongo, shall send them a strong delusion that they should believe a lie. And it's already starting. The Most High has kicked in the strong delusion is now here among the Muntus, among the Bana Betu. And there are some who are already still in the strong delusion of all of the other kind. I told people a delusion was coming, and it is here. Because this is not about Christianity. This is the biggest lie they've been talking about. This is about the Bena nZambis, the Bena Kongos, the Bena Muntus. This is what this is about. Okay? That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in the unrighteousness. I showed my wife. She saw everything that I was talking about. She even understands it. Like the Most High said, other people will understand it better than us. And it's sad. I'm going to go back to Hosea chapter 11, Hosea 11, verse 1. It says, Tata nZambi's love for nZolele. When nZolele was a child, I loved him, and out of ingipity, I called my son. So, when the Most High brought us, he brought us out, he brought the Savior came from ingipity. And then we were brought out of ingipity. The Messiah figure, Moses. He repeated this act. Let's go to Matthew chapter 2, verse 15. And was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled what's spoken of Tata nZambi the prophet, saying, out of ingipity I have called my son. I'm going to tell you that this is consistent with the type of monarch that just perished in Britain. And then what did he do? He brought Kusua out of ingipity. There's going to be a similar thing here. I'm not talking about anything else. He has said he always takes us out of ingipity when we rule. And the one who ruled when he came and faced off with the elders and the Sanhedrin, he came out of ingipity. Out of ingipity. So the Most High is saying, you will see something similar. Because he said in 70 years, I will remember my dispersed ones. That happened in 1949 to 2019. The awakening has now been going for 3 years, the true awakening that people are still trying to fight against. And now there are those who still want to put themselves in the place of the door, the one who said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Matthew 24. I'm going to do the complete Jewish Bible version again. Kusua replied, watch out. Don't let anyone fool you. I'm seeing this happening right now. For many will come in my name saying, I am Ha-Messiah, the Messiah. And they will lead many astray. This has happened several times to the Bana Betu. Several times. And you don't even know it. So when you see the abomination that caused devastation spoken about by the prophet Daniel, stand in the holy place. Let the reader understand the illusion that will be the time for those of Yaoundé to escape to the hills. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. We know what happened in the book of Yaoundé Maccabee with Antiochus when he slaughtered the pig. We know what happened with King Titus when he put Nero in the temple. Well, guess what? This event is now happening. So here's my recommendation to you. Those of you, the holy place we know is in the Congo. I am going to recommend you run from anybody telling you that the Most High's already done his part. That's just me. If they say King Kongo is here, you better run. Because Tata nZambi is saying, I know who my kings are. I know who my anointed ones are. I have already told people the Most High does not do dates. We know this. The Most High does not do dates. He does things all of a sudden. You will not, even Kusua Kongo said, no one knows the day or the hour. Nobody knows it. Even the Christians will keep yelling it to you. Oh, nobody knows the day or the hour. Nobody knows the day or the hour. And they don't even know this was not about them. It's about the Bana Betu. This is about the Bena nZambi. This is about the Bena Kongos. Okay? I spoke about what the Maliki Siddiqui, that they call Melchizedek, said. That when it is time for the diaspora to go, they will want to cling to you. And they will bring you home. They will know the king is here because the nations will bring you home because their kingdoms will be in destruction. Remember, in order to leave the captivity, Tata nZambi must show up himself through whomever he chooses to do this act, to where he will make them let my people go. So I'm just saying this. This is my warning to those of you in the diaspora. This is my warning to those of you in the land. I'm going to reread to you what he said. He said, do not let them lead you astray. For many will say, I am Hamashiach. And what I'm going to say is, many will say that I am Kusua Kongo. Simon Toko never said he was Kusua Kongo Yisu Klistu. No, he never said that. Simon Kimbangu never said that he was Yesiah. No, he never said that. But they did what they were told to do what the things that he did and more. Which means that anybody who is leading you must be encouraging you to do the same. You must be empowered with the means to cast out demons, make the lame walk, the deaf see, the blind hear. This is where Shatani always runs his interference. He doesn't want to see empowered Bena nZambis doing the things that Kusua Kongo did and more. That's why they're quick to call it sorcery and witchcraft when you can. But there are many who say they will do the parlor tricks of Simon the sorcerer. I have warned you. He is here among us. He is doing the same thing again like he did to deceive the people back in those days. Now that the awakening is starting to expose his other deception that he taught the heathens. Tata nZambi has said, you will do your mission according to his will, not yours, nor anybody else's, but his will. Remember, Morsi never declared himself anything more than what the Most High called him to be. Noka, Matuzu, Hanak, any one of these people, even Kusua Kongo Yisu Klistu, Isaiah, said, who do you say that I am? They don't know who I am. Tata nZambi reveals these things all of a sudden to those who are blind. But it will not be all of a sudden to those who know the real truth. I have told you that there was a strong delusion coming. I warn people, and it is here. And it was really intended for the Muntu, the Bana Betu. I told you, be careful, because the false Messiah can look like anybody, can be anyone, can be used for anything. Okay? Sambololo, Zola Quingi, Weza Yabe Kongo Kutwala. And I'm saying to you, be watchful, be on guard, because Shatani is a shapeshifter. He can take any form. Okay? Ingita Sambolo.